Good morning, it's Ollie here from roastmylandingpage.com, and this morning I'm going to roast the landing page of Basecamp. Basecamp is a project management tool, software as a service, and a lot of people are familiar with this tool. It's been around for a long time. So how the roast works traditionally is that I would have a series of answers provided by the founder or whoever works at the client, and I would go through those answers first, and then I would roast the landing page. And the reason I do that is I love to understand the context in which I'm roasting something, the key objective the person wants the visitor to complete, and also understand a bit more about the buyer and the USPs, that type of thing. However, for this roast, we can make certain assumptions, and I'm going to go through the page first and read out what I see, and then I'm going to go back through and I am going to actually roast or tear down or audit the landing page and identify opportunities to increase conversion. However, Basecamp's landing page is beautiful, it's really well done, so what I might be doing is more pointing out what they have done and why they've most likely done it. I am also aware that Basecamp do regularly A/B test their landing page, and they did have a situation before where they didn't A/B test their landing page, and quite interestingly, it cost them millions of dollars in revenue. There is a blog post about that, and it's very fascinating. So anyway, let me go through this page and start to identify some of the opportunities or unique things they're doing to increase landing page conversion. So I see Basecamp, sign in, try it free menu, and I've got the various mini or micro testimonials here, and it says the all-in-one toolkit for working remotely. Before Basecamp, projects feel scattered, things slip, it's tough to see where things stand, and people are stressed. After Basecamp, everything's organized in one place, you're on top of things, progress is clear, and a sense of calm sets in. Give Basecamp a try. 3,743 companies signed up in the last week alone, and then you've got a screen grab which has been annotated, which is something I really like. One place, not all over the place, and then it's a little bit about remote work, and then again going into the difference with Basecamp. They actually, the founders of this company did actually write a book called Remote and a few other amazing books that are worth reading, and they mention that here. And then this is a intro into a series of testimonials, another call to action, a visual, and some links. So let me go through some of the things that I really love about this. So the first thing is they do an incredible job at amplifying the pain. So traditionally, we're looking at a problem and a solution on a landing page, and the user may, or the visitor, I should say, may or may not know what that problem is. But your job is to establish that problem and to aggravate it. And the reason you want to aggravate it or amplify it, whatever you want to call it, is because you want the visitor to really feel that pain when they're on your page, so that they want to sedate that pain. And the way they sedate it is by signing up to your solution. So what they do really well here is, before Basecamp, the project feels scattered, things slip, it's tough to see where things stand, and people are stressed. This emotional language really evokes that frustration in me if I'm in that situation. So I'm like, okay, cool, tell me what I can do about it. And that's something they do really well. And then they're painting this picture of the emotional feeling afterwards, which is everything's organized in one place, you're on top of things, progress is clear, a sense of calm sets in. So the life with and life without visual or copy is quite common. You'll see it sometimes done as illustrations or video, but what you're trying to do here is make the visitor really feel it. Then under the call to action, which is give Basecamp a try, which I think is quite a nice laid back call to action. It's not really salesy, but it's active, and it's just saying, give us a go, see what happens. They've used this social proof, which is 3,743 companies signed up in the last week alone. So what they're saying is, you're in good company, you can trust us, other people are doing this, you need to join the queue and get on board. So that's quite nice. What is interesting, however, is that only up here does it say that Basecamp is free, or to try it free, and here they don't. So the user may have some doubt here, like, am I actually paying for this? Up here, I thought this was quite interesting. This working remotely language is newer, and I believe it's obviously linked to the pandemic. And it shows you how you can evolve your messaging based on understanding how the way the user or the visitor is framing the problem is going to evolve too. So if you haven't got the word remotely on your SaaS landing page and it's about Teams right now, you're probably falling behind the opportunity. I did like these testimonials. Traditionally, the mistake people make with testimonials is they make them extremely long and from irrelevant people. So they're not easy to scan and they don't necessarily resonate with the visitor. So for example, I might see a testimonial from an accountant at a company, but I'm actually working in the product team. So using people like me in testimonials can help. They haven't done that here. We don't even see who said these things, but they've got something further down the page for that. But what they have done is just really focused on short, snappy testimonials. And one thing to note here is they've also recalled the word remotely in a testimonial. If you are not talking about your core benefits or product functions in the testimonials, they are basically pushing the user in a different direction. So definitely something to consider. Here under the visual, I love visuals because it's a good way to show someone the product, not just tell them about it, right? When you're telling them, the user has to visualize for themselves what the product looks like. Here you go. This is what you're going to get. In fact, you can take this even further because you could have a live view that I could go into and interact with that refreshes each time someone loads it, and it lets me just play around. And that would take this concept even further. I would immediately be in a Basecamp. The most extreme version of that, and I just roasted the FigJam tool, is that basically it feels like you're already on the tool in the landing page. So you could almost make this like to-dos here and you could tick it. The idea here is you want to be vivid, you want people to feel the product experience, and the easiest way to do that is to make it there and available immediately. So anyway, they annotated this image. It is in effect a screen grab. There can be a lot of visual noise in screen grabs, but their product looks amazing. The annotations really, really help direct the user in terms of, look at this, pay attention to this. This is something you need to see. This module is just, once again, going back to the pain and the solution. And it's giving the user the option to go deeper into the website, which is another page. One benefit of having that is that we can retarget on our paid acquisition channels people who click these links. They are showing intent. They are showing a level of interest that might be worth retargeting on Google Ads, on Google Display Ads, and on Facebook Ads. This is in some ways a bit odd because it's a call to action in some ways for something different. But if you've written a book and that book is kind of known, that does prove credibility. It proves authority, knowledge. If you've written a best-selling New York Times book, you are people who can be trusted to be knowledgeable in this space. So if you're a founder and you're thinking, I don't really know my buyer's problem, here's the big issue. You're competing with people like this that know the buyer problem so well that they're writing books on it. So this does serve a good purpose here. And again, coming down here, they're focusing on the benefits that change for the better. And they're talking about lots of different use cases or buyers. So software development shops, design firms, schools, all of them can improve their project workflow. You could show that visually. You could show the different use cases, or alternatively, you could build different landing pages, so how a school is more likely to use it versus a design firm. If you were going to do that, you need to rework the function guidance, the annotations, the testimonials to focus on people that look and sound and talk and care about the same things as that visitor. these testimonials are very visual, very strong, but the most important thing about them is the caliber of the people who have left the testimonial. If you've got the CEO of Shopify and someone from NASA giving you testimonials, I'm not going to tear into that. These are pretty great people to be giving testimonials. The thing you might want to do is maybe put their job title, but I assume they're pretty senior. Put a picture of the organization or the person, just to humanize it a little bit more, to add more emotion. And then getting down to here, again, you can explore this. It's visually deprioritized. You can explore more testimonials. So if you are inclined to want more social proof and to understand the other types of people who've used this product, you can click it, but that's not really what they want. They've got this high contrast call to action, which is even more high contrast when you roll over it, which tells you what they want you to do. Interestingly, they precede this final call to action, and it is very common to have a second call to action or a third, or in this case, they also fix the menu here. So wherever you are, you've got that call to action. Interestingly, they acknowledge that you might not be fully convinced, which is true. Lots of cold traffic, new visitors will not be quite sure whether it's the right solution. So they acknowledge that and say, come and chat to us. But if you're ready, then go on, click and sign up. Here's the thing. It's that empathy that really works here. It's that we get it. We're not just going to force you through aggressively. And I think that's something that they do that's quite interesting. There's a little bit of personality here. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I just checked, it is Friday, and I will hopefully enjoy it. So that's nice. And here's a visual of the number of accounts signed up. So I think what this shows really powerfully is that this is not a fly-by-night company. It's 15 years in the making. And, more and more and more people are signing up. So that's really nice. I love this landing page for being very graceful, being concise, and for the way it paints the pain. And that is probably its core asset, is the powerful way it presents the before and after for the visitor. So let me just tell you how I work. With Roast My Landing Page, you will book a landing page roast. It's £149, which you pay via Stripe on my checkout. Via your credit card even, or debit card. And once you do that, there's a bunch of questions that you answer about your landing page and the visitor. I'll then receive that, and within 48 hours, what I'll do is I'll read your answers and I will riff off of them. I will challenge them. I will double check that you're definitely thinking correctly, strategically, and in the details. And then I'll go through your landing page and I will review it. And I will tell you the mistakes you're making that mean that visitors are not using your call to action. Some of this will be strategic, like maybe it's too soon for them, or maybe you should be pushing them in this direction. And some of it will be fixes related to the positioning, the pain building, the call to action, the illustration, all of these elements we've discussed, the social proof, proving your authority, proving your trustworthiness. And lots of founders make critical mistakes in how they implement their landing page. The reason I'm obsessed with it is because if you are driving traffic or spending a lot through your own marketing time, or spending a lot of money on ads, and people are landing on your page and not converting, then the ROI of that work is going to be impacted significantly. So a few refinements to a landing page can have a massive output or increase in the performance of all of your other marketing work. So this is why I think it's really critical to build a culture of testing and experimenting with your landing page. And my focus is on things that you can test and the methodologies to test them, so that you can start to educate yourself about what will work for your audience and your product. So if you'd like to book a roast, I'd love it. If not, I really hope you found this useful, because you can learn a lot from what people are doing well. However, like I say, if you want the specific fixes and advice for your page, please do feel free to book. Have a lovely Friday, and thank you for watching.